Devashish Prabhu and Mampi Mataji, and if Arju and Ron is there. Happy Diwali. Hare Krishna, can you hear us?
Please, Mataji, please give me 1 second.
Okay.
Verses 1 to 24, Mataji.
Yeah.
Yes.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Hare Krishna.
Chapter 2, Contents of the Gita summarized. Verse 1. Sanjay Uvacha Tang tatha kripaya vishto masrupuna kulekhanam vishedantamidang bhakko muvacha madhusudana.
Sanjay said, seeing Arjuna full of compassion, his mind depressed, his eyes full of tears, Madhusudana, Krishna, spoke the following words.
Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Kutastha Kashmalamidam Vishame Shamupastitam Anarja Jushtam Shargam Kirti Karam Arjuna.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you? They are not at all befitting a man who knows the value of life. They lead not to higher planets but to infamy.
Gloibang masma gama partho noi tatta jupa paddate khudrang hriday durballang tapta tishtha parantapa.
O son Pritha, do not yield to this degrading impotence. It does not become you. Give up such petty weakness of heart and arise, O chastiser of the enemy.
Arjuna Vacha Kathang Bhishamahang Shankhe Dranang Cha Madhusudana Ishubhi Protijotshami Puja Harvari Shudana.
Arjuna said, O killer of the enemies, O killer of Madhu, how can I counterattack with arrows and battle men like Bhishma and Drona, who are worthy of my worship?
Guru na hatta hi mahanu bhavan shreya bhuntum bhuikha mohi paloke hatartho kamangstu guru nihoibo bhunjia bhogan rurido prodigdhan.
It would be better to live in this world by begging than to live at the cost of the lives of great souls who are my teachers. Even though desiring worldly gain, they are superiors. If they are killed, everything we enjoy will be tainted with blood.
Na chaitang vidya katoranna goriyo jadva jaema jodiva no jaeyo janebo hatta na jiji vishama shateho bustitha pramukhe dhartrashtra.
Nor do we know which is better, conquering them or being conquered by them. If we killed the sons of Dhritarashtra, we should not care to live. But yet they are now standing before us on the battlefield.
Karpanna dosha pahato shabhavo prichami tang dharma shammuracheta jatreyo sannishchitam bruhitan me shishyaste haham shadhimang tang prapanam.
Now I am confused about my duty and have lost all composure because of miserly weakness. In this condition, I am asking you to tell me for certain what is best for me. Now I am your disciple and the soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me.
Nahi propashami mama ponudat jocho komocho shonomindriyanam avapo bhuma basho patnumrithang rajang shuranam opi chadhipattam.
I can find no means to drive away this grief, which is drying up my senses. I'll not be able to dispel it, even if I win a prosperous, unrivaled kingdom on earth, with sovereignty like the demigods in heaven.
Sanjay Uvacha Eva Mukta Rishikeshang Durakesha Parantapa Najutya iti Govinda Mukta Trishning Bhabubhaha.
Sanchita said, having spoken, thus Arjuna, chastiser of enemies, told Krishna, Govinda, I shall not fight, and fell silent. Hare Krishna.
Tamuvacha Rishikesha Prohoshanniva Bharata Shenayoru Bhayor Madhe Vishidanta Midang Vacha.
O descendant of Bharata, and at that time Krishna, smiling in the midst of both the armies, spoke the following words to the grief-stricken Arjuna.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Ashuchanana Shochastang Progabadangscha Bhashashe Gatashuno Gatashungscho Nanu Shochanti Pandita.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, while speaking learned words, you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor for the dead.
No te bahang jatu na shang no tang nime janadhipa no choiva na bhavishyama sharve vayomata param.
Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be.
Dehinosmin yatha dehe Komarang jovanang jara tatha dehantara prapti dhirastatra namujjati.
As the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body and death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change.
Matra sparshastu konteyo shitoshno shukho dukkhoda agomaya agomapai noho nittastang ki titiksha bharata.
O son of Kunti, the not permanent appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance in due course are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons. They arise from sense separation, O sage of Bharata, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed.
Janghina bethayantate purushang purusharshava shamodukha shukhang dhirang shoho mrita tayo kalpate.
O best among men, Arjuna, the person who is not disturbed by happiness and distress and is steady in both is certainly eligible for liberation.
Na shoto vidyate bhavo, na bhavo vidyate shato, ubhayoropi drishtahantas tanayos tattadarshivi.
Those who are serious of the truth have concluded that of the non-existent, the material body, there is no endurance, and of the internal soul, there is no change. This they have concluded by studying the nature of birth.
Avinashi tu tadvidhi jano sarvamidam tatam vinasham vayosasha na kaschit marhati.
That which pervades the entire body you should know to be indestructible. No one is able to destroy that imperishable soul.
Antabanto ime deha nitya shokta sharirino anashino ho prameasya tasmat juddhasya bharata.
The material body of the indestructible, immeasurable, and eternal living entity is sure to come to an end. Therefore, fight for descendant of Bharata.
Ja enang vitti hantarang jaschoi chanang mannate hatam ubhauto na bijanito nayang hanti na hannate.
Neither he who thinks the living entity, the slayer, nor he who thinks the it slayed is in knowledge. For the self slays not nor in is slain.
Na jayate mriyate va kadachinnang bhutta bhavita va na bhuva ajanitto shashyata hayam purano na hannate hannamane sharire.
For the soul, there is neither birth nor death at any time. He has not come into being, does not come into being, and will not come into being. He is unborn, eternal, ever-existing, and primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain.
Veda vinashinang nittang ja enam majambayam tathangsha purusha partho kanghatayoti hantikam.
O Partha, how can a person who knows that the soul is indestructible, eternal, unborn, and immutable kills anyone or cause anyone to kill?
Vashangshi jinani jatha bihayo nabani grinhati naroho parani tatha sharirani bihayo jinano nani sangjati nabani dehi.
As a person puts on new garments, giving up old one, the soul similarly accepts new material bodies, giving up the old and useless one.
Noinang chindanti shasrani, noinang dahoti pabako, no choinang kledayantapo, no shushati maruta.
The soul can never be cut to pieces by any weapon, nor burned by fire, nor moistured by water, nor withered by the wind.
Acchedo hayo mada, hayo homeyo kledasho shosho evacha, nitta sharvo gato sthanura, chalo hayam shanatana.
The individual soul is unbreakable and insoluble, and can be neither burned nor dried. He is everlasting, present everywhere, unchangeable, immovable, and eternally the same.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much. That was really beautiful, a lovely family effort, and we felt your devotion and love, and it's amazing. Like when you all synchronize together, it's just so lovely. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, it's so lovely. It's just like wow, and Drone is speaking so well. I mean, it's brilliant.
Thank you.
Speaking very well, thank you. So, right, I think it's Japa time now. Hare Krishna Prabhavati Mataji. Happy Diwali.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble
You
obeisances.
accept mine as well. How are you?
Yeah, good Mataji, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, all devotees, please accept my humble obeisances.
Right, let's find Srila Prabhupada chanting. So if everyone can just get the chanting beads together. Okay, Drone, would you be kind enough to say Jai Shri Krishna, please, 3 times?
Yes, Mataji, thank you. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Vaita Gadada Shiva Shadi Gora Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Vaita Gadada Shiva Shadi Gora Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Vaita Gadada Shiva Shadi Gora Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna. Oh. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Oh. Okay. Hare Krishna. Prabhavati Mataji, will you be doing the kirtan today?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Would you like me to put something on for you, or are you okay?
Yeah, if you want to, I don't mind. I have on my mobile, Mataji. It's
Okay,
Jaya
but
Radha Jaya Krishna.
which is it? Jaya Radha Jaya Krishna?
Jaya
Jaya
Vrindavan.
Vrindavan, yeah?
Yeah, yes, Mataji.
Lovely choice of song. Jaya Radha, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Vrindavan. Jaya. It's a beautiful song for today. Okay, so
Okay,
let me just share that. Hold on. Okay, there we go.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble
Mataji, can you speak up? I don't know if everyone can hear you.
Mataji voice is a bit low. Prabhavati Mataji, if you come nearer to the speaker.
Can you hear me, Mataji, now?
Yeah, that's better. Yeah, that's better.
Okay, Mataji. Hare Krishna. I think it was my earphone. Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavana Sri Govinda Gopinatha Madana Mohana Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavana Sri Govinda Gopinatha Madana Mohana Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhana Kalindi Jamuna Jaya Jaya Mahavana Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavana Sri Govinda Gopinatha Madana Mohana Kesi Gata Bamsi Bata द्वादश कानाना जहाँ सब लीला कोइलो श्रीनंद नंदना जय राधे जय कृष्णा जय वृंदावना श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहना श्रीनंद जसोदा जय जय गोपगणा श्रीधामादि जय जय वेणुवसगणा जय राधे जय कृष्णा जय वृंदावना श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहना जय वृषभानु जय कीर्तिदा सुंदरी जय पौर्णमासी जय अबीरा नगारी जय राधे जय कृष्णा जय वृंदावना श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहना जय जय गोपीश्वर वृंदावन माजा जय जय कृष्ण सखा बटु द्विजराजा जय राधे जय कृष्ण जय वृंदावना श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहना जय राम घट जय रोहिणी नंदना जय जय वृंदावना बसी जट जाना जय राधे जय कृष्णा जय वृंदावना श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहना जय द्विजपत्नी जय नागकन्यगाना बकती तेजहार पैलो गोविंद चरणा जय राधे जय कृष्णा जय वृंदावना श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहना श्रीरस मंडला जय जय राधा श्यामा जय जय रस लीला सर्व मनोरमा जय राधे जय कृष्णा जय वृंदावना श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहना जय जयोज्वला रास सर्वरस सारा परकीय भावे जहा प्रजेते प्रचारा जय राधे जय कृष्णा जय वृंदावना श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहना श्रीजनवपाद पद्मा कोरिय स्मरणा दीन कृष्ण दास को हे नाम संकीर्तना जय राधे जय कृष्णा जय वृंदावना श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहना हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Gokulananda, Radha Gokulananda Sri Radhe. Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman, Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman. Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Pancha, Jaya Pancha Tattva, Jaya Pancha Tattva, Jaya Pancha Tattva. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Gurudev, Jaya Srila Gurudev. Hare Krishna, thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji, could you please do the translation? It was so beautiful.
Hare Krishna Mataji, okay Mataji. All glories to Radha and Krishna and the divine forest of Vrindavana. All glories to the three presiding deities of Vrindavana, Sri Govinda, Gopinatha and Madana Mohana. All glories to Shamakunda, Radhakunda, Govardhana Hill and the Yamuna River, Kalindi. All glories to the great forest known as Mahavana, where Krishna and Balarama displayed all of their childhood pastimes. All glories to Keshi Ghata, where Krishna killed the Keshi demon. All glories to the Vamsivata tree, where Krishna attracted all the gopis to come by playing his flute. Glories to all of the 12 forests of Praja. All these places, the son of Nanda, Sri Krishna, performed all of his pastimes. All glories to Krishna's divine father and mother Nanda and Yashoda. All glories to the cowherd boys, headed by Sridhama, the older brother of Srimati Radharani, and Ananga Manjari. All glories to the cows and calves of Vraja. All glories to Radha's divine father and mother, Vrishabhanu and the beautiful Kirtida. All glories to Paurnamasi, the mother of Sandipani Muni, grandmother of Madhumangala and Nandimukhi, and beloved disciple of Devarshi Narada. All glories to the young covered maidens of Praja. All glories to Gopishwara Shiva, who resides in Vrindavana in order to protect the holy dham. All glories to Krishna's funny Brahmana friend Madhumangala. All glories to Ramaghata, where Lord Balarama performed his rasa dance. All glories to Lord Balarama, the son of Rohini. All glories to all of the residents of Vrindavana. All glories to the wives of the proud Vedic Brahmanas. All glories to the wives of the Kaliya serpent. Through pure devotion, they all obtained the lotus feet of Lord Govinda. All glories to the place where the rasa dance of Sri Krishna was performed. All glories to Radha and Shama. All glories to the divine rasa dance, which is the most beautiful of all Lord Krishna's pastimes. All glories to the mellows of conjugal love, which is the most excellent of all rasas and is propagated in Vraja by Sri Krishna in the form of the divine Parakiya Bhava, Paramore love. Remembering the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda's consort Sri Janava Devi, this very fallen and lowly servant of Krishna sings the Sankirtana of the holy names.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhavati Mataji, especially for choosing this song and then singing it with so much love and devotion, and then just taking us into the beautiful mood of Vrindavan. Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you, Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, and now Asha Mataji, would you be kind enough to do the Srila Prabhupada's Guru Vandana prayers? I'll put it up for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Would you like anyone to sing along with you, or are you okay?
I sing on my own tune.
Okay, there we go.
Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhagati Satma Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhagati Satma Bando Mui Savadana Jahara Prashad Bai Baba Doriya Jai Krishna Prapti Hoi Jaha Hoi Guru Moha Padma Vakya Chichate Goriya Akya Anadori Mani Asha Shri Guru Charani Rati Ese Uttama Gati Jai Prasade Pure Sarva Asha Chakudandilo je janne prabhu se Chakudandilo je janne prabhu se Divya jnana dutta prakashito Divya jnana dutta prakashito
जहाँ कोई आविदा विनाश जते प्रेम भक्ति जहाँ कोई आविदा विनाश जते वेद का जहाँ रचनी जो वेद का जहाँ रचनी जो श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु आगम जनरप लोगे जीवन हा हा प्रभु करो दया देहु मोरे पाद छाया हा हा प्रभु करो दया देहु मोरे पाद छाया एबे चश उषु त्रिभुवाना एबे चश उषु त्रिभुवाना Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Gurudev. Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Asha Mataji. That was very beautifully sung. Thank you so much. With lots of love and devotion. Thank you. So, moving on, we have the Mangalacharan prayers and Mampi Mataji, would you be kind enough to do them? There. She's okay. 1 minute. She's okay. Sanchita Mataji, would you be kind enough to do these? Okay.
ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथं वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं साद्वभूतं परिजनसहित कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्तुते तप्त कंचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुस्तुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनीति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Sanchita Mataji. Obviously, as always, we always feel your love and devotion coming through in whatever you do, and we look forward to hearing from you in a moment as well. So just before Sanchita Mataji does her session today, Amol Prabhu, would you please be kind enough to do the Brahmdhani prayers?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, let me just bring them up. Here we go.
Hare Krishna. जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस श्रील एसी भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की
जय।
जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की
जय।
अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की
जय।
नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की
जय।
प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की
जय।
श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्यामा कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की
जय।
वृंदावन धाम की
जय।
मथुरा धाम की
जय।
नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की
जय।
जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की
जय।
गंगा माई की
जय।
यमुना माई की
जय।
तुलसी देवी की
जय।
भक्ति देवी की
जय।
समवेत भक्त वृंद की
जय।
गौर प्रेमानंदे
हरि हरि बोल।
all glories to the symbol devotees,
हरे कृष्णा।
all glories to the symbol devotees,
हरे कृष्णा।
all glories to the symbol devotees,
हरे कृष्णा।
all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga.
हरि हरि
Hari
बोल।
Bol. Hare
Hare Krishna. Thank you
Krishna.
so much for that, Amol Prabhu. So beautiful. Thank you. Right. Okay. So, today we have Sanchita Mataji, who I'm really looking forward to hearing from. Mataji, would you like me to hand over to you, or shall I put the verse up?
Yes, Mataji, please, if you could.
I'll put it up, yeah. It's 2.11 you're doing, yeah?
Yeah, 11 and 12.
11 and 12. Okay, just a moment.
No, I'll bring it. Yeah, I mean,
you'll bring it, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
to give me sharing right then. Or
Okay.
will I be able to share my screen?
Yeah, you should be able to share it. I'm not sharing anything.
Okay.
Okay, so before Sanchita Mataji starts, can we just please send her loads and loads of love and encouragement by just saying Haribol, 3 loud Haribols to her, please.
Hari
Haribol, Haribol,
Bol.
Haribol. Right, Sanchita Mataji, over to you.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for giving this opportunity. And hope, yeah, I know you have to bear with me because this has been like a festive weekend and I didn't get much time to prepare. And these are quite important shloks of this important chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which is the content of Gita summarized. So here Krishna, he's the guru now and he's speaking so heavy verses. But please tolerate me and forgive me for my shortcomings. So yeah, this verse, I'll start with this 2.11. Before that, I'll do my invocations. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse 11. Shri Bhagavana Uvacha Asochayan अन्वासोचस्त्वं प्रज्ञावदंश्च भाससे गतासुंस् अगतासुंश्च नानुशोचन्ति pandita. Synonyms. Shri Bhagwan Uvacha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Asochayan, not worthy of lamentation. Anvasochaha, you are lamenting. Tvam, you. Pragyavadam, learned talks. Cha, also. Bhasase, speaking. Gata, lost. Asun, life. Agata, not past. Asun, life. Cha, also. Na, never. Anusochanti, lament. Panditaha. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, while speaking learned words, you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor for the dead. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Lord at once took the position of the teacher and chastised the student, calling him indirectly a fool. The Lord said, "You're talking like a learned man, but you do not know that one who is learned, one who knows that the body and one who knows what is body and what is soul does not lament at any stage of life, neither in the living nor in the dead condition." As explained in the later chapters, it will be clear that knowledge means to know matter and spirit and the controller of both. Arjuna argued that religious principles should be given more importance than politics or sociology, but he did not know that knowledge of matter, soul, and the supreme is even more important than religious formularies. And because he was lacking in that knowledge, he should not have posed himself as a learned man. As he did not happened to be very learned man, he was consequently lamenting for because which was unworthy of lamentation. The body is born and is destined to be vanquished today or tomorrow. Therefore, the body is not as important as soul. One who knows this is actually learned. And for him, there is no cause of lamentation, regardless of the condition of the material body. So, yeah, before we go into the purport, I'd just like to, what Arjuna, why is Krishna chastising Arjuna here? So till now, we had seen Krishna had played the role of a charioteer. Of course, from time immemorial, he was his friend, he was his cousin. So he had many other relations. But when Arjuna surrendered, he is now taking the role of a guru. And the first time he is speaking. So he speaks by initially chastising him. But what is he chastising Arjuna for? So here it says that Arjuna argued that religious principles should be more important than politics or sociology. So in the first chapter, we see that, in the verses, like Arjuna gives so many points that, in text 36, he says, O Krishna, husband of the goddess of fortune, how could we be happy by killing our own kinsmen? So here he mentions Krishna as the goddess of fortune, husband of the goddess of fortune. So if somebody is killed, of course, that woman, they are unfortunate, right? So he is using that right word. So say that you're asking to kill, but I mean, how will that help if we kill our own kinsmen? Next, he says, like, if it's like criminal to destroy family and it'll give me sins. And then he keeps on saying that it will be involved in, if we do that, it'll be, rest of the family will become involved in irreligions. How does that happen? Like when the husband dies, some of the women, they may not get married again. They might have illicit relationships and there'll be progeny, unwanted progeny, and then irreligion will follow. The population will be like not very in the sattvic mood. There'll be hellish life for both family and the one who destroys the family tradition. So the family tradition, what they look for in the kingdom, it will not be maintained. The ancestors who have been there, it will fall down, the families will finally become more corrupt. So he's giving many, and by evil deeds who destroy the family tradition and all kinds of community projects, and family welfares are devastated. So he's giving, we see that all these reasons that, I mean, why this social, he's giving more importance to politics or sociology, but not to these religious principles. So here Krishna then says, like, you are lamenting for so, but what we see that when Arjuna gives all these points, he's saying he is talking in terms of body, the body that if we kill the I mean, my guru, my relatives, they'll die, and that such and such things will happen. So all this he's talking with keeping in mind the body. But Krishna then chastises him, or like he tells, like, you're giving so many logics and you're speaking like a learned man, but you're mourning, which is not worthy, but reasons for which you're mourning is not worthy of grief, because there is no point of lamenting. There's no point of uh, being worried that these living people, they will die one day. And then he, in the next shloka, he goes deep diving into that. So we see that here, in the past also, we have seen that, guru. So who is, when Krishna takes the role of a guru also means not only teacher, of course, he's a spiritual master, but it also means heavy. So till now, like when Krishna said anything, it was like at a friendly level, but now it becomes heavy. Like his words are heavy. He's giving his wisdom, the message of Bhagavadgita, but in very heavy terms. That he's first using this term lament here as well. It's used quite a few times, and it's like asochayan, and then anvasochas, and then nanu sochanti. So 3 times he's used that there's no point of lamenting. Also, we see in this, chapter 18, verse 66, he says, like, surrender unto me, abandon all varieties of religion, just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from the sinful reactions. Do not fear or do not lament. So, ma suchaha, don't lament. So, Krishna has come here to take all our lamentation, to understand who we really are. He says that you are talking like a learned man, but who is a learned man? So Prabhupada says in this purport that a learned man is one who knows the matter or the material nature, the body, and he understands the spirit, soul, and the controller of both. So if you take it as a triangle, that on the bottom 2 points, they're like one side we have the body, and the other side we have the spirit, soul, and the top of the pyramid of the triangle, who is it? It's the controller or the maintainer of both. So though Arjuna thinks that he is giving very solid logics of protecting his family, putting down his bow and arrow, but actually Krishna says that those who are wise, they neither lament for the living or the dead. So this lamentation, he's somebody who's lamenting on this ground. These people, it's unworthy to lament on that. And it comes as quite heavy. If you see in the past also, that when Vyasadeva, when he has written all these religious Vedic scripture, he was still not happy. And when he went to Narada Muni said, like, he chastised him that, do you know why you're not happy even after writing so much? Because Narada Muni was his guru. So Guru said, like, he said that in his capacity, that because you have not glorified Krishna, the Supreme Lord, yet that's why you are not happy. So you're lamenting because you have not glorified Krishna. So this is where Krishna says that where the moment we understand that we are not this body, we are the spirit, soul, and then we take it from there, there is no point of lamentation there. The body is born and is distinguished, is destined to be vanquished today or tomorrow. And therefore, the body is not as important as the soul. And one who knows is actually learned, and there's no cause for lamentation, regardless of the condition of the material body. So those who are learned will never cry that because, and whom Krishna gives this knowledge? I mean, Krishna only gives this knowledge to the devotees. It's only the devotees who can understand that we are spirit souls. Once we chant, once we read, once we deep dive into scriptures, only then, if we are covered by Maya, we can never understand that, we are, we can only lament, because we see in this world that what's going on in this Kali Yuga. Everybody is so much into their bodily pleasures, bodily, like even with the body, so much going on. Everything, people have forgotten that what is their real identity. And from there we see that, like a guru, when we see like a potter, like a potter, when we see that he makes a pot, he tries to, because that clay, it might have some, these little chips of stones and all that. So from the outside, he's very harsh. If you see them making, he'll just put his hand very roughly while he's making the pot. But from inside, he's smoothing it. So Krishna, he is trying to do the same. That though he knows that Arjuna, he is his best friend, he is his best disciple, but he's still chastising him, saying that, even after having so much qualities, you are not worthy of this lamentation. So yeah, with that, I'll move on. So, and then Krishna in the further slok, he says why he's not worthy of this lamentation of this body, because he explains that in the next shloka. So I'll move on to the next shloka, which is text 12. Natva evaham jatu nasam natvam nema janadhipa na chaiva bhavishyamaha sarve vayam ataparam. Na, never, tu, but, eva, certainly, aham, I, jatu, at any time, na, did not, asam, exist, na, not, tvam, you, na, not, ime, all these, janadhipaha, kings, na, never, cha, also, eva, certainly, na, not, bhavishyamaha, shall exist, sarve bayam, all of us, and ataparam, thereafter. Translation: there was never a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In the Vedas, in the Katha Upanishad, as well as in the Shvetashvatara Upanishad, it is said that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the maintainer of innumerable living entities in terms of their different situations according to individual work and reactions of work. That Supreme Personality of Godhead is also, in his plenary portion, alive in the heart of every living entity. Only saintly persons who can see within or without the same Supreme Lord can actually attain to perfect and eternal peace. Nitto nityanam chetananam eko bahunam yo vidadhati kaman tam atmastham ye nanu pashyanti dhiras tesham shanti shashvati netresam. Kathopanishad 2.2.13. The same Vedic truth given to Arjuna is given to all persons in the world who pose themselves as very learned, but factually they have a poor fund of knowledge. The Lord says clearly that he himself, Arjuna, and all the kings who are assembled on the battlefield are eternally individual beings, and that Lord is eternally the maintainer of individual living beings, both in their conditioned and in their liberated situation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the Supreme Individual Person, and Arjuna, the Lord's eternal associate, and all the kings assembled here are individual eternal persons. It is not that they did not exist as individuals in the past, nor it is that they will not remain eternal persons. Their individuality existed in the past. Their individuality will continue in the future without interruption. Therefore, there is no cause of lamentation for anyone. The Mayavadi theory that after liberation, the individual soul separated by the covering of Maya or illusion will merge into the impersonal Brahman and lose its individual existence is not supported herein by Lord Krishna, the supreme authority, nor is the theory that we only think of individuality in the conditioned state supported herein. Krishna clearly says herein that in the future, any of the individuality of the Lord and the others, as it is confirmed in the Upanishads, will continue eternally. This statement of Krishna's is authoritative because Krishna cannot be subject to illusion. If individuality were not a fact, then Krishna would have not stressed it so much, even for the future. The Mayavadi may argue that the individuality spoken by Krishna is not spiritual but material. Even accepting the argument that the individuality is material, then how can one distinguish Krishna's individuality? Krishna affirms his individuality in the past and confirms his individuality in the future also. He also confirmed his individuality in many ways. An impersonal Brahman has been declared to be subordinate to him. Krishna has maintained spiritual individuality all along. If he is accepted as the ordinary conditioned soul in individual consciousness, then his Bhagavad Gita has no value as authoritative scripture. A common man with all the four defects of human frailty is unable to teach that which is worth hearing. The Gita is above such literature. No mundane book compares with the Bhagavad Gita. When one accepts Krishna as an ordinary man, the Gita loses its importance. The Mayavadi argues that the plurality mentioned in the verse is conventional and refers to the body. But previous to this verse, such a bodily conception is already condemned. After condemning the bodily conception of the living entity, how was it possible that Krishna to place a conventional proposition on the body again? Therefore, individuality is maintained on spiritual grounds and is thus confirmed by great acharyas like Sri Ramanuja and others. It is clearly mentioned in many places in the Gita that this spiritual individuality is understood by those who are devotees of the Lord. Those who are envious of Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead has no bona fide access to this literature. The non-devotees' approach to teachings of the Gita is something like that of a bee licking the bottle of honey. One cannot have taste of honey unless one opens the bottle. Similarly, the mysticism of the Bhagavad Gita can be understood only by devotees. No one else can taste it, as it is stated in the 4th chapter of the book. Nor can the Gita be touched by persons who envy the existence of the Lord. Therefore, Mayavadi explanation that the Gita is the most misleading presentation of the whole truth. Lord Chaitanya has forbidden us to read commentation made by the Mayavadis and warns that one who takes to such an understanding of the Mayavadi philosophy loses all power to understand the real mystery of Gita. If individuality refers to the empirical universe, then there is no need of teaching by the Lord. The plurality of the individual soul and the Lord is eternal fact, and it is confirmed by the Vedas as mentioned above. So yeah, we can consider this as one of the foundation shlokas of Bhagavad Gita. Yeah, so I mean, here Lord really speaks some deep tattva, and in a way you can say it is spoken in a way that, as we go into the purport, we'll discuss more, that it does not speak about the soul, but at the same time he is speaking. I mean, it's not mentioned directly about Atma, but he's mentioning that you, I, and the kings, we always existed in the past, will exist in the future, and nobody ceases to exist. So what is he talking about? Because a body, like, it's temporary. We'll lose this body, and again, according to our karma, we'll take another body, and same has been done in the past as well. So what is he talking about? So it's not in this shloka, because in the earlier shloka, he was chastising Krishna, saying that you're lamenting about the body. I mean, whoever you see, they will still exist, but there's no point lamenting about the body. So in this shloka, Krishna is not talking about the body, but the soul. Though it's not mentioned in this shloka directly, I mean, we don't find the word Atma here, but it says like, Na tva evaham jatu nasam. So, like, never was a time that I did not exist, or you, tvam, or janadhipaha. I mean, all the kings. So he's mentioning to the kings who is standing on the opposite side of the army. There was never a time that, like, I did not exist, or you and the kings did not exist. Na chaiva cha na bhavishyamaha. In the future also, there won't be a time when um, I mean, nobody will sarva vayam atha param. So there will be a time when after there hereafter also everybody will exist. So here in the Parpad, Prabhupada has given a very nice reference to one of the Katha Upanishad shlokas, which it says Nityo Nityam Chetanas Chetanam. So here it says, so there are many nityas, among them who is special. It's talking the nityas among the eternal souls. So Krishna is the one who is the special. Chetanas chetananam. So among the consciousness who is special, it's again the one special is Krishna. And what is the speciality about that, the conscious being? Eko bahunam yo vidadhati kaman, that one being is maintaining the other being. So he is the one, Eko bahunam, he is one, and he is looking after all the other beings. And what is the speciality of that one being? If we know him, then we are free from all our miseries. So tam atmastham ye nanu pashyanti dhiras tesham shanti sashwati nita risam. Sorry about my Sanskrit pronunciation. I'm not perfect, but I'm just trying to explain what Prabhupada meant in this shlok. So, tam atmas tham ye nanu pashyanti dhiras. So, those who are dhiras or sober person who sees this person in the heart, like when a person is able to realize that I have the Paramatma in the heart, then he has got no lamentation. No, he has got this inner realization that the Supreme Personality, he dwells in my heart, and by knowing that, he will attain Shanti, and he will always be Tamash Shanti Sashwati. So he'll be eternally peaceful. So Krishna says here that, that Supreme Personality of Godhead is also, by his plenary portion, alive in the heart of every living entity. So he is there within all of us, and only the saintly person who can see, they can only understand the Lord is there, and only they can be at eternal peace. So in the same way, the same Vedic truth is given to Arjuna, that all persons in this world who are learned, but they have factually, they might pose to be learned, like all the different, here in this material world, a person who has got so many material degrees, like bachelor's degree, master's degree, PhD and all that. So, but this knowledge, this material knowledge does not help us to understand our own identity, who we are. We think we are a body, and we keep on doing our activities based on that bodily concept. We do not understand that we are spirit soul. So that's why Prabhupada says that even though people are learned, but actually they have poor fund of knowledge. And same is what Krishna is saying to Arjuna as well. So Lord clearly says to himself that Arjuna and all the kings in the who are assembled in the battlefield are eternally individual beings, and the Lord is the eternal maintainer of this individual entities in their conditioned soul and in their liberated state. So Krishna says that here, if we try to understand, Lord, like he's very, what should I say? All this knowledge that he's giving in this slok, he's just mentioning just like a bird's eye view. He's just, even without maintaining about the Atma, he is trying to mention that we always, all of us, always existed. But when the Mayavadis read this, then he think I mean, so I am one with Krishna. Like, I mean, so Krishna is saying that, it was never a time that I did not exist, or you did not exist, or the king did not exist. So they think, okay, so we all are equal. So after we die, we merge with the Brahman, impersonal Brahman, and then we become one with the Lord, because Krishna is not giving any further explanation especially in this text, because he only wants this Bhagavad Gita to be understood by only his devotees and not anybody else. Similarly, we see that in all the confidential knowledge, the bhakti yoga, it's being sandwiched between chapter 7 to chapter 12, because in the beginning we have this like a bread, like Prabhupada gives the example of sandwich, like in the top bread and the bottom bread and the filler. So he's giving all this knowledge quite on a not a deep level, and those who cannot accept this, they might get bewildered and they might go away. Similarly, in the Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam, we see that all these chapters before chapter Canto 10, he's giving so much of knowledge, so much detailed into like different pastimes he's sharing, and then the creation story, which is already so baffling to understand the entire universe, and then the concept of time, which we learned recently, like what is a shan, what is a pal, what is a muhurta, and so much of detail. So people who are not ready to accept this, what will happen to them? They'll just, go away and then not ever reach to understand the sweet pastimes of Krishna, which Krishna discloses in the Canto 10. They've only kept it very secret, like, how and pearl is kept between the, like in the oyster muscles and cells. It's similarly this knowledge. So when this Mayavadi, they read this shloka, they think, oh, I mean, so we all are same. Like I means Krishna, he's saying, calling himself I am the soul, and I and the other king. Everybody is same. So so there's no supreme being. And so here Prabhupada mentions this paragraph is quite important. So here we see how the Mayavadis, they get bewildered looking at this shloka, and they form their own concoction. So here we see the concept of individuality and plurality. So Mayavadi theory, after liberation, the individual soul, separated by the covering of Maya illusion, will merge into the impersonal Brahman and lose its individual existence, is not herein supported by Krishna. So it is mentioned that Krishna always says that you were there before, you are there now, and you will never cease to exist. Even in the future, you will be there. So you means what? You here is not the body. You here Krishna mentions that he means the soul. The soul exists in the past. Soul is there now within your body, and in the future also the soul will be there. So, and if I am a soul, and we have so many, like we have 8 billion 9 billion people only, and that there are different jivas, non-human jivas. So they also, so that must be like countless souls. So all these souls, they cannot, I mean, this concept is quite bogus, like how they say that now we are individual in this world, in this material world, everybody is individual. But once we leave this body, we merge with the Supreme Brahman. But Krishna does not support this herein. He says it is not supported by Lord Krishna. Nor is a theory that we only think of individuality in conditioned state supported herein. Krishna clearly says that in the future also individuality of the Lord and others, it is confirmed in the Upanishads, will eternally exist. Like Krishna has given us remembrance, he has given us forgetfulness, and he has given us knowledge. So he has given, like, we do not remember a past life, right? We cannot remember what happened to all the 84 lakhs species that we have been to, but Krishna still remembers. So we have forgotten that past life, but Krishna still knows what we were in the past and what we will be in the future. Similarly, I mean, if we say, like, if we take, like, what in this present life also, if you try to understand what is happening, we think we are what we are from the outer body, but what is happening inside us, how our organs are functioning or malfunctioning. Even in the present, we cannot understand ourselves because we have all these 4 defects of like imperfect senses, illusion, the tendency to make mistakes, and the tendency to cheat. So we cannot understand even our own body. But Krishna, he knows all the jivatmas. He in this life, the past life, and the future. Krishna could like remember, if we take some examples like Draupadi, once like Krishna, he was eating a fruit, and I think while he was cutting, I mean, one of his fingers got cut, and Draupadi was there. So she used one of those the achal of her sari to tear it off and tie it to Krishna. So Krishna then said that, I will return this favor to you with infinite like strings or threads when you need. But did Draupadi know her future, that one day when the disrobing happened in the Asat Sabha, that Krishna will be there? She did not know that. And when she called Krishna, initially she she asked Yudhishthira, Bhishma and all that. If she had knew that her future, then she did not remember even at that point that for a little favor that Krishna had done. So Krishna always remembers little things that devotees do. So even for the little favor that she had done, she never remembered when this thing was happening to her. She just surrendered and then she called. But Lord came and helped her with infinite like roll of a sari, and that it kept coming. Similarly, that she had given this knowledge to Vishwaswan. So he said millions of years back, he had Vivaswan, so the sun god. He had given this knowledge of the Bhagavad-gita to Vivaswan, but that has been forgotten. He still remembers that. And similarly, in different yugas, like, when he was in the Treta Yuga, he remembered that, the monkeys who were there to help Lord Rama to help fight the battle and get Mother Sita out of Ravana's palace. They helped, but at that time, Lord Ram, he did not had anything to return it. But on the next yuga, in the Dwapar Yuga, he when he was stealing butter and feeding the monkeys, it was not that he just wanted to tease Mother Yashoda. It was not because of that. He was feeding the monkey to show his gratitude that, the favor that, that they had done, he was trying to return. So Krishna, he never forgets, but we cannot remember our past. Yeah, some people do, but it's good that we do not remember, because if we remembered all our past life, we would have been so bewildered. Similarly, what is going to happen in the future, we have got no idea. But Krishna has it has been even stated in the Shastras, in the Canto 12, we know how Kali Yuga is going to unfold. What is going to happen? There'll be no water, we'll be eating worms, there'll be no vegetation, there'll be no religion and all that. So this has been predicted, but can we even say that what is going to happen to our children like in 10 years time? I mean, we cannot do that. So though, that's the catch of this. I feel that's my realization, that's the catch of this shloka, that he in a single line, he says, there's you did not exist, or I, or the king. But the way he says, he thinks he's at the same platform. I mean, the Mayavadis think that Krishna, the kings, and myself, we are on the same platform, because he does not give any more details at this point, but he will reveal himself later. But here we have to understand a very important point. Like when we read a book, we try to understand who is the author. Like we try to find out who is the author. If he's a good author, we'll get that book. So here Krishna is trying to give before addressing Arjuna's queries, Krishna is trying to say who he is. So he's telling that, what is his role? Like, as I mentioned that, like, we cannot remember what happened in a past life, or we cannot know our future. But Krishna says that he is declaring that we all existed. So how has he got the knowledge? Because he is a supreme being. He's not like how the Mayavadis say that we are into this illusion that we all become God. Like, we all merge we will all merge into the impersonal Brahman and lose the individual existence. But Krishna says that's not the thing. So, and then, so here we take Krishna's words as authoritative because he is not subjected by Maya. He is not into any illusion. And if individuality were not a fact, Krishna wouldn't have stressed so much, even for the future. So when he says that even in the future, depending upon your karma, you'll still exist as a soul, maybe in a different body, maybe in the spiritual world, or in this world, or in the hellish planet. Nobody knows, but the soul will still um, exist. So, and how is he able to say that? Because we accept him as a supreme authority. But the Mayavadis, they may argue that the individuality spoken by Krishna is material. It is not spiritual. That's absolutely not the fact, because material means in terms of body. So in this shloka, Krishna, maybe I'm repeating time and again, but that's what Prabhupada is also trying to mention, that it's not at the bodily level. We have to understand that whatever Krishna is saying, it's at the level of spirituality. So, and then Krishna has maintained a spiritual individual. Krishna, so he is a supreme being. He is not made of this tattva we are made of. He is not made of matter. He has maintained his spiritual individuality all along. So he existed in the past, in the future, in the present, and in the future. And if he was like, and Prabhupada is giving, like, he's trying to ask us, is the rhetorical, that if he was just an ordinary conditioned soul, why would we accept the Bhagavad Gita as an authoritative scripture? So a common man will be so he says a common, sorry, my mouse is not. Yeah, a common man with all four defects of human frailty is unable to teach that which is worth hearing. So suppose if we take any books from this material, like world, like suppose a very famous books like the books written or the plays written by Shakespeare, if we keep on, suppose they are famous, they're popular books, even if, or any other books by any other authors or poets, would we keep on like to reading it ever and ever and ever again? I mean, there will come a time, even if somebody likes Shakespeare or Charles Dickens or Rabindranath Tagore, or whoever you take, I mean, we cannot keep on reading it. There will come a time when those books will lose the essence. But the Bhagavad Gita is above such literature. This is no mundane book, which, it cannot be compared to any mundane books. When one accepts Krishna as ordinary, the Gita loses its importance. So Prabhupada is saying that if by going by the first line of this verse, if we think that I, Krishna, and the kings, we are all never cease to exist, and we are at the same platform as Krishna, then there will be no importance of Bhagavad Gita. The Mayavadis argues that the plurality mentioned here in this verse is conventional and it only refers to the body. But previous to this verse, like Prabhupada mentioned, as I mentioned earlier, that previous to this such bodily conception has already been condemned. So in the previous verse, Krishna mentions Arjuna, why are you lamenting? Why do you have so much of worry? You did not know to worry, but this worry was based on the points that Arjuna had given in the first chapter, that he is lamenting for this such and such reason, but they were all based on the bodily conception. So Krishna is condemning this, like the lamentation. So in this shloka, he's not talking about bodily conception, but he is talking about the soul. So all the living entities, that they are all jiva-atmas. So how is it possible for Krishna to place a conventional proposition on the body again? So that's what Prabhupada is saying, that in this shloka, he is not doing that. Therefore, individuality is maintained on spiritual ground. So our great acharyas like Ramanuja and others, they have given long commentaries. This, as I mentioned, this is a very important verse, and our acharyas has given very nice commentaries and purpose to this, and Prabhupada has summed it up very nicely in this purpose. So that's why I'm sticking to this purpose and trying to explain. I mean, it is very deep, and it's like no, I mean, I don't have the capacity to explain it as I would like to, but I'm just trying. It is clearly mentioned in many places in Bhagavad Gita that this spiritual individuality is understood by those who are devotees. So those who are envious of Krishna as Supreme Personality of God have had no bona fide access to this great literature. So Krishna, there restricts that those who are non-devotees, Krishna does not give them this opportunity. As I mentioned, like the Mayavadis would argue on this shlok that we all are merging into the Supreme Brahman after we die. Right now we are individual plurals, but we will become individual, one with Krishna, one with the Brahman, and then we will become God. And they give like nice analogies, like, you know, there are many rivers in this country, and all these rivers, they flow towards the ocean and they become one with the ocean and all that. So even there's so many people who have been bewildered by this Mayavadi theory. Like after Shunyavadi, the Mayavadis came when Shankaracharya was there. On the he was my incarnation of Lord Shiva, and under his instruction, he was doing like a spread. He was trying to get the Vedic scriptures back, but then somehow he was trying to bewilder those people who, because Krishna says that non-devotee, he does not give any access to the, because those who are envious of Krishna, who do not surrender to Krishna, he does not give any access to this great literature. So the non-devotee's approach of teaching Bhagavad Gita is something like that of licking the bottle of honey. So those people, when we open the bottle of honey, we know, those who have tasted would know that it's nectarian, it's so sweet. But those Mayavadis who just get bewildered by such, I mean, only he's just speaking the first or the second verse. I mean, Krishna is only speaking his second verse, and they might get bewildered and baffled, and they might, it's like, so Krishna is comparing that it's like they are licking, Srila Prabhupada is giving this analogy of licking the bottle of honey. Like, you know, they are not able to taste the honey, like they're not able to get the nectar, the sweet nectar that Lord is giving in this battle of Kurukshetra and this holy dham. And Krishna as a humble disciple, he is accepting that knowledge, but the others, they cannot accept this. So similarly, one who cannot have a taste of the honey unless they open the bottle. So once we surrender, so this means like Krishna needs, like because when Arjuna was giving like the different arguments, he was smiling and he was just, you know, saying things like a friend. But when only he surrendered, then only he became his guru. And when he becomes guru, as I mentioned, it's a word which is full of tattva, it's very heavy. So then only he's giving this heavy knowledge and this confidential knowledge. But the ones who do not surrender, who are not devotees, who are non-devotees, the Lord does not give any access to this knowledge. And similarly, those who do not open the bottle, and Prabhupada is giving this analogy, that those who do not open the bottle of honey, they cannot taste it. Similarly, the mysticism of Bhagavad Gita can only be understood by devotees, and no one can taste it, as it's stated in the 4th chapter of the book. So in the 4th chapter, if you go to this shloka, verse 3, he says that Sa evaya maya te daya yoga prokta puranatah bhaktos si me sakha cheti rahasyam hya etad uttamam. So the translation, it means that very ancient science of the relationship between the Supreme is today told by me to you, because you are my devotee as well as my friend, and therefore understand this transcendental mystery of science. So those who are, as I mentioned, he's giving his access to this because Arjuna is a pure devotee and he's his friend. Coming back to the purport, nor can the Gita be touched by persons who are envy of the existence of Krishna. Those who envy Krishna, they can never understand. Therefore, the Mayavadi's explanation of the Bhagavad Gita is misleading presentation of the whole truth. And that's why Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has mentioned that, we should not be reading and Srila Prabhupada is also, we keep on hearing this word Mayavadi. So, I mean, Lord has just kept them away because they're envious. They want to be one with the Lord, and He has kept them away, like from the out, licking the honey from outside, and not being able to understand the real nectar of the Gita. And the Mayavadi philosophy loses all power to understand the real mystery of the Bhagavad Gita, because they cannot surrender, they cannot present themselves as the servant, dasanudas, the servant of the Lord, as in the mode of doing service. So they can never understand and the mystery, what Krishna is trying to say here. So that every individuality refers to the empirical universe, and there is no and then there is no teaching of the Lord. So if the individuality refers to the empirical universe, then there is no teaching of the Lord. I mean, if this individual, I mean, we are here as individual souls, and when we go to the spiritual world, the pure devotees like Srila Prabhupada, who has gone back to Godhead, being part of Krishna's Nitya Leela, doing seva. There are so many pure devotees who have gone back home, back to Godhead, and they are still continuing the eternal service they did here. Even as eternal souls, they are still continuing performing the eternal duties. So the individuality, that's the main key word, that we are separate from Krishna. We are, if Krishna is the fire, we are the spark of the fire. We are the plenary portions, like small, like Krishna has got all the 6 qualities in full, but we are just the little plenary portions. Some people have good knowledge, some people have wealth, some people have fame, and some people are renunciates, but all of us, we do not possess all the 6 qualities in full. So the plurality of the individual soul and the Lord is an eternal fact and is confirmed in the Vedas as mentioned above. So we see here that, this concept that Lord is trying to, I mean, in the next shlok, which will be covered next week. So in chapter, I'll just briefly touch into that. Again, Krishna comes back to that that the body is just very temporary. As the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to oldhood, youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. A sober person is therefore not bewildered by such change. So when we know that this body is temporary, and as individuals we carry on to the next body and carry on as eternal individual souls, then we don't get bewildered, and then we don't have as any lamentation, as Arjuna was lamenting in the previous shlok, where Arjuna was lamenting in chapter 1, and Krishna was trying to explain in the previous shlok that why are you lamenting? Because a learned person, there is no reason for any lamentation. So yeah, I mean, that's all I think. Yeah. And there was another thing, related to the shlok in chapter 4, verse 3. O Arjuna, here Krishna mentions, O Arjuna, as a supreme personality of Godhead, I know everything that has happened in the past, all that is going to happen in the present, and all the things that are yet to come. And I also know all the living entities, but no one knows me. That is very important. No one knows me. Even as much as we try to understand the Lord, we can only do our endeavors. We can never be one with the Lord, as the Mayavadis think. And even in our performing our services, as trying to be devotee is a very, very heavy word. We cannot call ourselves devotees. Pure devotees are pure souls, exalted personalities. So if we keep on doing our devotional service, chanting, reading the books, association, having proper diet, follow the regulative principles, we can only make our endeavors to understand the Lord. Because Krishna says himself in this verse, chapter 7, verse 26, that I know everything. I know all that is happening to all the living entities, but nobody knows me. Yeah, with that, I'll finish my talk. Hope I I tried my best, but I know it might not have been very clear. Maybe Amoga Prabhu and Radha Sevika Mataji can throw more light to explain this. And please forgive me for any of my misgivings and my mistakes. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you for listening to me.
Hare Krishna, Sanchita Mataji, that was lovely. Thank you. And yeah, like it was heavy and it was hard, but you explained it really, really well with lots of examples. And it made a lot of sense. Ask if anyone has any questions. Mataji, I had one, or two actually, maybe because of my lack of understanding about Mayavadis. And so firstly, my question was, you said that Krishna knows present, past, future. So within that scope, how does free will and karma, how are the three interlinked? So does Krishna know that certain karmas are also going to be performed by us, or is that something that we authentically do due to the free will that we have as jivas? So how do those three kind of intertwine? So if Krishna knows the present, past, and future, as a jiva, how does karma and free will play into that? Like, how can we know the future? Because a person's action can change depending on their free will and therefore their karma, if that makes sense.
Yes, Mataji, thank you for asking that question. I myself have that question. I mean, I have that question. I'm still trying to clear on that, but I'll just try to briefly share my understanding on that. But of course, Ramlala Prabhu and Amoga Prabhu can share more on that. So, yeah, I mean, Krishna, he as I mentioned, I mean, he knows the past, present, and future, and but all the jivas, all the life yonis we go through, depending upon our karma, we are aware of that, and he has. With that, he has given us a little free will. But how I interpret it as, like, in that free will, if we surrender and understand who we are, our real identity as not bodies but soul, and then include, make our two duties, like the worldly duty and the Swadharma and the Sanatan Dharma, we dovetail those duties and use our free will in such a way that we can keep Krishna in the center and perform all our material activities surrounding that. Then I feel that we make a good use of a free will, but when we don't do that, like when we forget that we are spirit souls, we are not plenary portions of part of Krishna, we do not understand that the Paramatma is sitting in the heart, even if you're Mayavadis, even if you don't, he is sitting in the, that's a fact, like he is sitting in the heart of every individual jivas. So whether it's Mayavadi or a tree or a plant or an insect, he's there. So if you're not aware of our identity, true identity, who we are, and we do not make proper use of that free will, then we keep on doing the swadharma in such a way that we are not what do we call including the Sanatan Dharma, to remember the Lord and as servants of the Lord. Then we keep on accruing, like we do keep on doing vikarmas, like our anarthas keep happening. As Mayavadis, like even spreading this message, like when I learned first time, like I was very bewildered. Like when we read this shloka in this chapter 2, verse 12, I mean, he's saying, Krishna just, his simple line, I mean, he has not talked about Atma or anything. He's just mentioning that I, you, and the kings, of course, the kings on the opposite side, we all existed and never ceased to exist in the past, or will never cease to exist in the future. So but the way we interpret is simply that we are servants of the Lord, and Lord has given us, we do his duty towards him. But the Mahavamins think of their mentality. They're just simply taking it, oh, so as Krishna and I and you and the kings, we are all same. So we finally will merge as the rivers merge into the ocean. And then they keep on doing the anarthas, even spread this blasphemy against the Lord as one of the 10 offenses. And then they keep on doing the vikarmas one after another. And then that what happens is we misuse our free will. And then, of course, Srila Prabhupada says this life is to prepare for the next life. So we have got this human body, human form of the body, as jivatmas, because we have more consciousness than other jivas. And if we use this life to understand Krishna and do less vikarmas, less anarthas, and maybe on a spiritual platform doing more akarmas, and so that we do activities in such a way that all our doing devotional service, so that all our anarthas get burned. And then we are making proper use of free will, and then we can use that to go back to Godhead, or try to, even if, yeah, of course, but get a better life, not go back again as any other less conscious species. Suppose we have not finished our duty, we might again come back as a devotee. But if we carry on doing the bad things, will maybe take us to hellish planets. So that's why, how I understand it, I might not be right, but Amoga Prabhu can shed more light on it, I believe. Hare Krishna. If that makes sense, I don't know, but
No, it's really good answer. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So the onus is still on us to do the right thing, or is to use our free will in the service of the Lord, in our kind of Swadharma and Sanatan Dharma, and minimize the anarthas, the vikarmas that we're making through doing activities in a karma, which neutralizes the effects of our sins and our what do you call it, the seeds that are still, I think it was in Nectar of Devotion, the seeds that are yet to fructify. Like, we don't know that sometimes we have them, and then until the seed comes to the forefront. So by doing devotional service and using our free will, we can, so basically what you're saying is that we can affect the future by our present activities. Is that correct?
yes, Mataji, like, suppose the example of a child, suppose we have an exam and he has got the free will. So the teacher will say that you read such and such chapter for the exam. So he has got the free will, whether he'll spend that day before the exam to study or not study. He has got that absolute free will, right? So if he thinks, oh, I'll just chant and tell Krishna that please help me pass, and and so his swadharma here is to study. Of course, Krishna is there, but God, there's a saying, God helps those who help themselves. So if he's making proper use of his free will, that you have to understand the fact, as I'm trying to explain in material terms, that we have to study. The child has to study to get good marks. So just only if you think my Sanatan Dharma is to be at the lotus feet of the Lord, if with that thinking, if you go to sit for the exam the next day, the child will absolutely fail. So the swadharma here is to understand that I have to study, and the Sanatan Dharma would be like, to understand that Krishna, I'm doing it for you so that I can use my knowledge, my potential, my talents. If I get a good job, a nice career, then I can again do service for you, and I can devote my wealth, my potentials, and keep you in the... So, both the material and the swadharma, and the material duties and the spiritual duties, they are like, merge together, like keeping Krishna. That can only happen when you keep Krishna in the center. But when we do not use this free will to understand, suppose the child thinks, oh, I'll only perform chanting, maybe 64 rounds chanting this night, and tomorrow in the exam, Krishna will help. No, he will not help. So that is the proper use of free will, as I understand it, as Mataji, if that made sense.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
But then how does Krishna then know the future? Because does he know that that's how we're going to use our free will?
Yeah, I mean, he is Sarvagya, so he knows our future, like, what is going, he knew our past, he knows our future. So he knows that future means, like, he knows what. So in the battlefields, when Krishna is showing his universal form, the Virat Rupa, Krishna is showing Arjuna that even if you don't kill all your relatives and your friends and family, they're going to die, and what will happen to them, and all. He's showing the future. So no matter what Krishna duties Krishna performs, or whatever Duryodhana and whoever what performs, he knows whatever or I mean, good people or bad people, they're going to perform. He knows everything. But still he's given that free will, like as a mercy, I would say, that so that we as jivas can take that opportunity, free will as an opportunity, and use it how we use it. So when Duryodhan and Arjuna, they went to see Krishna, that who wanted to have Narayan Sena and who wanted to have Krishna. So Duryodhan got the chance first, like, he was Arjuna was sitting at his lotus feet of Krishna, and Duryodhan thought, I'll just sit just near Krishna, near his head, where he was when he was lying down. So he gave Arjuna, being younger, he gave him the chance first. So how did he used his free will? So Krishna knew that what will be the outcome of the battle, right? But he knew what Arjuna is going to say and what Duryodhana is going to ask for. So he asked, like, I only need you. I only need you be my guide. So Duryodhana was very happy. He said, oh, he's such a foolish person. He's just a Krishna. He's not even carrying any weapons. He's not fighting. What's the point of having Krishna? He's just a charioteer. So I'll take his Narayan Sena, and everybody is equally powerful as Krishna. So free will is given to both Arjuna and Duryodhan, but how they use that free will, and that's how the outcome was. So, but Krishna knew that Duryodhan will use it in this way because he knows our future, and he knew that Arjuna will use it in such a way. So this was all predestined, but still free will was given. So that's how.
Okay, so just there's exactly that word you use. I get what you're saying. So is everything predestined, and Krishna knows the predestiny of something because he knows the character of a jiva, or is it that it's predestined? Because sometimes, is it predestined?
Yeah, Mataji, I understand, and I try to understand this also. So, so everything is predestined. Everything has been written how it's going to happen. Still, Krishna has given this free will. So when we use this free will so the best way, I would say, I mean, let's put it this way, like, so when we the best way to use our free will is to surrender, because if we understand that Krishna knows our future and this is what is going to happen to us in this life or next life or several other lives, so if we keep that as a constant, that is fixed, that's going to happen, so then how do we use the free will? So we use the free will in a way that we surrender. When we understand who we are from the Gita, who helps us to understand the identity, like the 5 things that the Gita teaches. One is Atma. So when we understand our true identity and use the free will in such a way that will take us to that destiny. So, the destiny we want. So if we suppose from a past life, we have some anarthas. So if we use that free will in this life, then we can burn our karmas and then be better person. And maybe not transcend our, let's put it that way, like, transcend ourselves to our next level of duties. Like, we are still so much caught up in the mundane activities, and we want something better. Everybody wants happiness, everybody wants to be loved. Yeah, I mean, and that love, like, the family love, it's like it's we are not able to, how our parents loved us, we are not able to return it back now, because now we have moved on to our children. We give, so it keeps moving on, and then when we have grandchildren, it moves on. But we as jivas, everybody wants to be loved eternally. So that's only when we surrender to Krishna. So how I take it as that when we understand that everything is pre-planned, Krishna has fixed everything, everything is fixed. So when we use our free will to surrender, then we make the proper use of free will. If not, if we get baffled and bewildered, then uh, that causes consequences as well. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah. Thank you. That's quite a difficult thing, isn't it? It's that.
It is very difficult, and I was trying to get my head around it and understand. Just reading the purport many times only. I initially said, Amoga Prabhu, that I cannot do this verse because it's really complicated, and how Prabhupada explains this, and but I'm not in that capacity to deliver that in that, like, but I just
You did
tried.
it really
Hope it's
well.
still
No,
very,
it's
very
really clear.
confusing.
No, it is really clear.
I've
And
been
then
repeating myself so much with the same words. I could, hear myself, but anyway, please forgive me for that.
no, not at all. And then the thing about the Mayavadis, like, what is Mayavadi and the Brahmand? Do they go into the Brahmand as well? Like,
That's what, yeah, that's what one of the concepts. So, like, Mayavadis, they think like we merge. Like right now in this world, we are individual. We are in the individuals, different individuals, which is plurality. I mean, we are plurals, like, all the jiva tattvas. I mean, humans and other jivas. So in this world, material world, we are individuals, but many individuals, like including the other jivas. But when we leave this material body, so we become one with the Lord. So as I mentioned, that analogy of like how they take examples, that example could have been used in a different aspect purpose, but these examples like of rivers merging into the ocean, and then think we are merging into the supreme Brahman. And but Lord has mentioned in this, in the purport also, it's mentioned that it's a inferior, like we as Krishna, different manifestations of the Lord. He himself is saying that that is an inferior manifestation. Krishna is the supreme, and then he has got his so many manifestations. Some the avatars he came, they all had different purposes. So they are thinking that we are going into Brahma Jyoti, and then we are becoming one with the Lord. But that's not is happening. We are still carrying on our journey, depending upon karma, as souls. So, and those who are devotees, are pure devotees, or who, the avatars, they go to Golok Dham and still carry on their duties there, serving the Lord. But those who have done other vikarmas and other, like, anathas, they go to the hellish planets. So it still remains as the concept of individualities. That's how I'm trying to make clear in my head, that individuality still remains even after our death, when we leave this material body. But that's where the Mayavadis differ, and it's a big, huge difference. And that's how from there the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita, as it is, like we have got it, as a disciplic succession, Krishna spoken, and then from the Gauriya Madhava parampara, how we have got it, and through Srila Prabhupada, through the disciplic successions, when we read it, hear it from a spiritual master, we get the pure knowledge, but authentic knowledge. But the Mayavadis, they derive just from the Sanskrit shloka, that this is what is happening. We are all becoming one with Krishna, and then that's how it deviates, and they get bewildered. And that's how Prabhupada has compared it to like licking the honey from the outside of the bottle. So if it's a glass bottle, you can see the honey and you might think, wow, this is what it is. But until you taste it, you do not know the nectar. So the mystery of the Gita and the tattva, the Gura tattva, the bhakti yoga, they cannot reach that because all these first 6 chapters keep them so much baffled and bewildered, and they keep doing concoctions because they're not getting this knowledge from the disciplic succession from proper guru. There are so many, they're not bona fide gurus, so they get the knowledge from there and they make their own derivations out of that, and that's how it pollutes their mind and they get baffled.
And is that this is becoming one with Krishna, they think they are Krishna, like that. I mean, I always call it the Bondrik effect. They imitate Krishna and they think they are Krishna, or is it that they're just impersonal and that they just think that Krishna has no form?
Yeah, that's, I think, they think, I mean, I am not very clear on that. Maybe I can pass it on to Amoga Prabhu. But yeah, they think Krishna has got no form, and becoming one with the Krishna means I am also part of the Brahma Jyoti, and I have merged into Krishna. So that's how the concept of bogus gurus has also come. They, even in this world also, they think I am guru and I have got all the potencies of Krishna. So maybe in the next life when they come back, when these souls come back again, and I think they are the ones who become the bogus gurus because they think from the past life that I had all the potencies to become God, and that's how they keep on teaching all this wrong spiritual less knowledge, imparting it in a wrong way. And so many people, we have so less people in bhakti, and so much people who are bewildered by this poor fund. That's what Prabhupada says, poor fund of knowledge. That's a knowledgeable person will, if they only understand that only 3, like I explained, try to explain as a triangle. If you understand the body and the gross body, the subtle body, the spirit, soul, and I mean the controller. Who is the controller of this body? Our spirit, soul, and that. Then we know, if at the top of the triangle, the pyramid, he is the controller and the supreme being. But they do not understand. They think it's like a, sun, the ray of the sun's like it's in the Brahman, the impersonal, where it has got no form. So, but I'm not very clear. I mean, I understand, but I'm not able to explain. So maybe I'll just pass it on to Amoga Prabhu to please share his knowledge on this. Prabhu, over to you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Very beautifully explained about these 2 shlokas and further explanations for Mataji's questions. So it is simple to understand. For example, if we think this UK is a kind of spiritual kind of analogy, if you wanted to come here, there are rules and regulations. So who are outside of this country, they need to follow. Either they should be highly skilled. For that one, they have to study and do the employment, and they have to meet the criteria. It is kind of rules and regulations, be the bhakti. And whereas impersonal Brahman, so by their own endeavor, irrespective of those things, they will, of course, they do follow, but they will take a kind of taking a ship personally, just going with so much of hard work and crossing the oceans and landing at some part of the land of this United Kingdom. And they will come into the country. So kind of a impersonal Brahman. But though they have come into this country, but they are not recognized by the supreme authority or the government. So they will stay in the country. Of course, their individuality is not recognized yet. So if the government recognizes that this person is illegal, and then what government do? They will expel him. So they will deport him to the place where they have come from. So that is a simple analogy, but whoever has got highly skilled and following the rules or regulations of the government, and they will enter into here in this country, and they can serve in a kind of employment, and in such a way they have to come to Britain, help Britain prosper. So there is kind of analogy. So that is the nature one has to acquire. So to serve the country and recognized by the government, then he will enter. And then if he keep progressing, then he will be able to enter into the palace. Buckingham Palace, and he will be able to meet the queen or king, whoever is existing there. And then if he is more loyal and devoted to the person, he'll become a personal servant. So it's kind of that analogy.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. That's helpful.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very nice analogy, Prabhu. Yeah, thank you for explaining it so simply. I mean, sometimes like it's not in our capacity, but when we hear from you, it becomes like so easy to understand. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Very beautifully explained. Ramlala Prabhuji, would you like to share any of these things about the two shlokas? Asocyan anmusocestum prajnavadamsha bhashase gatasun agatasumsha nanu socinti panditaha. And natvevaham jatunasam natvam nemi janadipaha nachaiva nami na bhavishyamaha sarve vayamataha param. So those two slokas have been explained by Sanchita Mataji. Would you like to share any knowledge on that one, Prabhuji?
First thing I acknowledge that is Sanchita Mataji has given explained nicely with the scriptural evidence based. She explained nicely. Actually, this is the part essence of the scripture. Actually, what is the Katha Upanishad? Actually, we are eternal, and we are separate from Lord Krishna. We are not merged. We cannot merge with Lord. So actually, this highlight is actually Mayavadi. They don't like to. They have no servitude attitude. Due to that, they think we can merge with Lord Krishna. So when they merge with Supreme, so that means we have no service. We don't need to any service. We become God. So this is the totally wrong philosophy. Even bird with the blue bird in the tree, we can distinguish the bird and leaves. Totally different. So same way, we cannot merge with Lord Krishna. This is wrong, totally, entirely wrong. And we have to serve to the Supreme. That is the main thing. This part, rest of Sanchita Mataji already explained what I have given the example. Actually, so we are not following the Mayavadi, but we learned about Mayavadi, what they want to do. So we have to be very careful. But what our identity, or what we know, our identity, we are separate from Lord Krishna, and we have to Jiva Swarup Hoy Krishna Nityadas. That is our eternal dharma. We have to do that. So this part I have to again I am repeating. Also question and answering for Radha Shavika and Sanchita Mata is very nice. But I have from that their discussion, can I ask a little question? Very quick question. Sanchita Mataji? Yes.
Yes,
So,
Prabhu.
yes, you
But
mentioned.
I'm just like not capable enough to answer your question.
No, this is simple question. Actually, you mentioned actually everything is simple, determined or destined. Everything is that. So if it is like that case, in that case, why you have to do our work? Because everything is pre-planned by Lord Krishna. So is there a necessary to do our work? If everything is Krishna's plan, then why you have to do our work, please?
that's a really good question.
I still have that question in my mind as well. It keeps on going and coming back. So yeah, I mean, I know everything is destined, but if we had in a past life the some anarthas that we have done and we have got, but we have sukriti as well, because of which we are able to understand devotional life, to understand Krishna, to know him. But and then I know everything is destined, but Krishna removes anarthas. Like if we have seen so many examples like Ajamil and other examples from Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam, that even like they have not lived Jada Bharat and all. They have not lived a very pious life, and maybe they were destined to become again, go to a become a get a life not of not a good, becoming a good soul, but because at the end point use their free and that Lord is so merciful that Jamil, he did not do it in the as I mean, he didn't want to remember Lord. He was just trying to call his son's name. But Lord, because we are separated from the Lord, so Lord gives us so many chances that he's extending his hand that somehow or the other come out of this material life, come back to me, and I'll take care of you. But we are all fallen and ignorant souls, and we are not able to do that. So even if Lord is so merciful that even if they are not doing it as remembering Lord as Ajamil did, so but Lord still, delivered him. Similarly, Duryodhana and all the kings, and I mean all the Bhishma, Pitama, and everybody who fought on the other side of the opponents of Pandavas, they were fighting for adharmas, but because in the battlefield Krishna was present, and he was trying to finish that, like finish adharma, and they were doing duties, and Krishna was there present, even though they were doing wrong, of so much of wrong that they have done to the Pandavas, they were delivered. So if things could have been different, if Krishna was not there, they could have got a different body, different life, and maybe carry on with their life. But because Lord is merciful, he would maybe not let us go through the different yonis and then deliver us. So that's how I understand Prabhu, but that might not be the exact answer to the question. So maybe Amoga Prabhu can say that on behalf of me. Prabhu, please.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, you're explaining very nicely, Mataji. So we have got the 5 things out of 5 topics. One is the 4 are permanent, one is the temporary. But those are 4 out of those 5. Supreme Personality of Godhead, and then individual soul, the time factor, and the Prakriti. These 4 are eternal. And the karma is not eternal. It is changed. Whenever there is a seed of karma bijam. Karma bijam starts from the I wanted to dominate over the nature when we are in the spiritual world, and due to this desire that we also wanted to dominate over the nature, just like Krishna wanted to imitate. That is the starting point, this karma bijam. So just the will, and then because of that will, Krishna sends us here, and then he will be put up into one particular conditions in this material world. Arranging like this is your home, this is your family, your mother, your father, your children, your wife, like that living entity comes and he carries out those activities. Again, whether he wanted to do on his own will, again, whether he wanted to follow these Vedic injunctions or he doesn't want to follow those injunctions. So it again depends on, he will take birth according to his desires. That's why he will be put like that. So this is everything is the kama yesha, krodha yesha, rajoguna samudbhavaha. When Arjuna asked the similar question, why even the living entity is put up without his desire, will be forcibly put up into one particular situation and make him to do the sinful activities. Then Krishna says, kama yesha, krodha yesha, rajoguna samudbhavaha. That particular statement Krishna mentions to Arjuna. First of all, this starting from kama, the desire. Desire is lording over the nature. That's why he will be conditioned coming to this world. And then prakrutehe karmani gunaihi karmani sarvashah ahankar vimudatma kartaham iti manyate. So the nature, he will bind him with the goodness, passion, and ignorance, and because of his bodily nature, bodily concept, he has to forcibly act according to his nature. That's why
Thank you so much, Prabhu. That's really,
age.
yeah, that's really helpful, because that then goes into that verse about the body carries the different aroma of the consciousness from one birth to another.
Yeah, and once if he follows the Vedic injunctions, then he'll be getting out of this material world and entering into the spiritual world. That we can finish up this material body.
And how do we know which stage we are at? Like, how do we measure the progress, or
As simple as that is whether I am following the rules and regulations simply, and then with purity,
Yeah.
without any personal or self-identification. So self-identification is means a false ego. Aham mama, that is aham mameti. As long as we are in that conception, that means there is no more liberation.
Okay.
As long as I'm not this little body, I'm the servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then I will follow the Vedic injunctions, then we'll be liberated.
Yeah. Okay. Are there any other questions? Thank you so much, Amol Prabhu, for clearing that as well. Are there any-
Want to say something?
Hare Krishna. Yeah. Actually, in that case, sorry, is that sound is not clear? Yes. Okay. Good. So in that case, that means it's not actually another side is not predestined. So everything can be changed. So even everything we know, you already mentioned the karma is temporary. Our consciousness is temporary. Everything can be changed. So it is due to our will. Our will, it can be changed. Even Prabhupada mentioned you can change. It can be changed within a second. So to become liberation, to get liberation within a short time, a very short time, with a fraction of a second, due to our mood. Even Azamel example was given. Similar, there is a besides some work, even Azamel has past work. Even in the early stage in his life, he did some pious activities, and due to some other pious activities, because Narada Muni, sorry, not another devotee. One of the devotee was in the house of Azamil house. His wife gave service to that devotees, and he suggested him to give the name Narayan. So there was behind something. So anyway, at the end, the point is everything is not predetermined. Due to our karma, due to our consciousness, it can be changed. Even even we know that tomorrow it will be another example is weather forecasting. We know tomorrow can be sunny day or it can be rain, but every moment it can be changed. So so that's why even our karma, due to our karma, due to our consciousness, everything can be changed. And Krishna is giving us opportunity. Even your bad activities, bad association, it can be, it can be changed. So we have offered. He gave us opportunity. Even many bad qualities, bad thing, but it can be good. It can be. You can follow me, and you can come to my abode. So it can be transcendent, and it can be progress, and we can back to Godhead. So even that is maybe a repetition. So we should not be regretful. Oh, I am very bad. I am very bad activities. I did like this. We don't need necessary to count about this thing. Only point is we have to surrender to our Guru, Krishna, then everything will be success. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu. I explained it nicely. Hare Krishna.
Okay, so thank you so much. Radha Sekha Mataji, what do you think? Your speaker was giving echo sounds, Mataji. Okay, we'll hear and mute now.
Sorry, are there any other queries or questions? Thank you so much, Ramlala Prabhu. That is so simple, but it makes so much sense. Like, we hear it all the time, but it's sometimes like one of those things that we need to repeatedly hear And so we just know that, you know, we're like what we should be doing. Any more further queries, questions? Otherwise, we'll move on to Nashinga Dev prayers, and it's going to be Hung Mama Mataji today.
Hangma Mataji, do you have got any questions, Mataji?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Not really, sorry, I couldn't make it in time for the class. So I just heard the second half of the class. So no any questions for now, Prabhuji.
Anybody else? Mampi Mataji, Asha Mataji, Debashish Prabhu, Prabhavati Mataji, Usha Mataji, Hare Krishna, welcome.
Hare Krishna. Sorry, Mataji, I was also a bit later.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was listening this nice part of how to, yeah. So Sanchita Mataji instead of explaining, and you know, was asking the questions. So yeah, so nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So in that case, can everybody please unmute and say 3 really big, loud Haribols to Sanchita Mataji? Sanchita Mataji, thank you so much. That was really, like I say, deep and informative, and like something that, you know, we should keep applying and keeping in the forefront of our mind to kind of act as a guidance for us. So thank you so much. Can everyone please unmute, please?
Hari
Hari
Bol.
Bol. Hari Bol.
Bol.
Hari
Bol. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Sanchita Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji, and Amada
Hare
Prabhu,
Krishna.
for the opportunity. Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
All glories. Okay, and now Hung Mama Mataji, if you could be kind enough to do the Nashinga Dev prayers. Would you like someone to sing with you, or are you okay on your own?
I'll be okay on my own as well, but if anybody is interested, then yeah, they
Would
can join
anyone
as well.
like to join Hung Mama Mataji? Maybe Usha Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, so Usha Mataji and Hung Mama Mataji. Hung Mama Mataji, you can start whenever you're ready, please.
Hare Krishna, thank you. Namaste Narasimhaya
Namaste Narasimhaya
Prahlad Daine Hiranyakashipu Vakshaha Shilatanka Nakhalaye Ito Narsimho Parato Narsimho
Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimha
Yato Yato Yami Tato Narsimho
Yato Yato Yamitato Narsimho
Bahir Narsimho Hridaye Narsimho
Vahe Narsimho Hridaye Narsimho
Narasimhamadim Sharanam Prapade
Narasimhamadim Sharanam Prapade
Tava Karakamalavare Nakham Adbhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubhringam Keshavadita Narhari Rupa Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare
तव करकमलवरे अद्भुतशृङ्गा दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गा केशवद्रीता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे
जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव
जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव
जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज
जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज
जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद
जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद
जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव
जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव
श्री नरसिम्हदेव भगवान की
Jai.
जय भक्त प्रहलाद महाराज की
Jai.
जय
जय
श्रीला प्रभुपाद की
Jai.
जय हरे कृष्णा
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji, for joining me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji.
Beautiful, Mataji. Very nicely done.
Yeah,
Thank you,
very
Mataji.
beautiful, very sweet. Thank you so much. Okay, so I think we've got a big day tomorrow because we've got the big festival at the manor. So without further much ado, Hare Krishna, thank you to everybody for participating. Thank you, Sanchita Mataji. Thank you, Amog Prabhu. Thank you, Ramlala Prabhu. Thank you, Bampi Mataji. Thank you, Devashish Prabhu. Thank you, Arjudron. Usha Mataji, Hangma Mataji. Thank you. Asha Mataji. Thank you. Prabhavati Mataji. Thank you. And Sanchita Mataji, again, thank you for a lovely session. So
Thank you, everyone. Let's please unmute and say three loud Hari Bols to Radha Sri Mataji for hosting the session so nicely.
हरि बोल
Hari
Bol.
Bol.
Hari
Hari
Bol.
Bol.
Hari
Hari Bol.
Bol.
Hare Krishna to Srila Prabhupada. Okay, Vanchakalpatarobhyascha Kripasindhuvayavascha Patitana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo
Vai
Namo
Namo Namo.
Anantagoti Vaishnav Vrinda ki
Hare
jai.
Krishna.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada
Prabhupada
ki
ki jai.
jai.
Ah.